welcome to our first ever Flip Classroom video. Big day today, okay? It's a short one. It's going to obviously be a short one. This is a little warm-up ticket for you guys, okay? Remember you got this yesterday, okay? Some of you did. All right. This will be good for you. These are three great problems, all right? These are three problems. I mean, obviously there's four here, but these are great problems to help you study for your test on Friday, or Tuesday, excuse me, okay? There's a little quadratic in there, and there's this is a great little problem here as well. Okay. I really like these. I would definitely make sure start at the top that you should go back and look at this before Tuesday's test. All right. First thing we're talking about union and intersection. Remember this, the upside down end means intersection. All right. Intersection, remember, is where they meet. Okay. So I have EC, which is a segment, and intersect AC. Okay, remember, intersection can not only be where they meet, but also what they form, or excuse me, where they overlap as well. Okay, so if you look at this, well, they both share this point in common. Both objects share this point, E, and both objects share C in common. Okay, so I know that it has to be some combination of E and C. All right, however, what that combination is. We got to figure out what that combination is. So there's this overlap. Here's our overlap right there. All right. If you look at our object EC, you see that's a segment. It stops here and ends here. Now AC obviously goes on forever, but since EC is just a segment, our answer, our overlap, has to be a segment as well. Because one of the two is a segment, the overlap is a segment. Okay, because technically A to C, it goes on forever at C, but I'm including C here, right? I'm including C. Okay. That one's a little bit tough. That's a confusing one, but it's a great that's a great thing to look at for Tuesday's test. I can tell you that. All right. Next one we have E to B and E to D. Okay, we've done one like this before. E to B, E to D. What did I just draw? I drew a line. And you can name it DB, you can name it EB, you can name it ED as well. I'm going to go D to B. Okay. And that was a union. Remember, this is a union. The U means union. All right. Union. And that's what they form. It's really hard to write with this thing. Okay. You're just going to have to bear with me. All right. I'm doing my best here. This little stylus I got going on. All right, so now we have ED, holy buckets, what is that? ED intersect CB, okay? Now, ED, my question to you, does it stop here or does it go on forever? All right, so this is a line that goes on forever. If it goes on forever past E, our intersection point is B. It's B. Okay. Last one. BA union BC. What did I draw? I drew an angle. I drew angle ABC. Now, here's the deal. It's very important that you have B in the middle. You could have said CBA, but B is our vertex. And how do I know? Because both rays start at B. They both have a starting point of B. That's our connecting point. So that's where we connect. Since that's where we're connecting here, okay, that has to be our vertex. And be careful when you write this in number 3, when you write point B, all right? Make sure you write just the letter B and don't throw an angle in here. Okay, don't throw an angle here because that would be incorrect. Right? I don't want you to get silly points off on your upcoming test. Oh boy. All right, let's try this one. Remember we talked about in class yesterday when we talked about rays bisecting angles, okay? So you're given that EG bisects DEF. So remember that when a ray bisects an angle, what does it do? It divides that angle into two congruent parts. It splits it in half, making each of these parts equal in measure. All right, well, I know that I was also given these two equations, so I'm going to label my two angles. 2x squared, I'm going to try that again. 2x squared minus 12. That's not a 12. X squared minus 12, there we go, holy buckets, and then x squared minus 4x. Okay? Well, since those are congruent, another word for congruent is equal, I can set those equations equal to each other. So 2x squared minus 12 equals x squared minus 4x. Okay? Move everything to one side, minus x squared plus 4x plus 4x. Remember now, I'm not actually adding 4x to 12, okay, because they're not like terms. So 2x squared minus x squared gives me x squared. Whoops. Let's make that blue. Gives me x squared plus 4x because there aren't any other like terms here. And then minus 12 equals 0. So we need to factor. We need to find two numbers that multiply negative 12 and add to positive 4. Where only factors of 12 are 1 and 12, which wouldn't work, 3 and 4, which doesn't work, and 6 and 2. So it has to be 6 and 2, so it's x plus 6, x minus 2 equals 0. So you set each factor equal to 0 and solve. X plus 6 equals 0. Now you may be able to skip this step. So x equals negative 6. I'm just going to show it. And x minus 2 equals 0. So x equals 2. Now, some of you may jump right away and try to cross out the negative. But you need to make sure, remember what I said before, you need to make sure that the negative checks, you have to check first before. Okay? And we have to check to see if the 2 works. We have to check both answers. Alright? So let's check those two here. Okay? I'm going to check negative 6 first. 2 times negative 6 squared minus 12. I know that negative 6, be careful if you're going to plug this in your calculator. Alright, make sure you put the parentheses around negative 6. So negative 6 squared, which is 36. 36 times 2 is 72, which gives me, oh, buckets, I did the wrong angle there, didn't I? But does it matter? It doesn't, right? Because they're congruent. But I'm just going to go ahead and do the other one instead because it's a little bit easier. Okay, negative 6 squared minus 4 times negative 6. Okay, so negative 6 squared is 36. 36. Negative 4 times negative 6 is 24. Positive 24. Okay. 36 plus 24. Well, 30 plus 20 is 50, so that's 60 degrees. So negative 6 checks out. All right, this checks out. So one possible answer is 60 degrees. I also want to check the 2. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Sorry about this, it's kind of a little jam-packed. Okay, I'm going to check 2 as well. So I'm going to plug it in here. 2 squared minus 4 times 2. Now some of us may see something here. Alert, alert. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. So in this case, the positive answer does not work. Alright, so our answer here, that can't be possible because we can't have a negative side angle length just yet in math. So the 2 is thrown out, and negative 6 is our x value. And our answer is 60 degrees. Equals 60 degrees. Okay? Last one here. Given the diagram. So I'm given this diagram and you're like, well, yeah, no kidding. There's a diagram there, right? All right, but that's very important that we say that, all right? Because we're given this diagram. Okay, well, what are the things that we can pull out from the diagram? Well, I can see that these two lines intersect. They meet at this common point there. I can assume from this diagram that these two lines are straight. Okay? Since I can assume that these two lines are straight, I know that this angle here is 180 degrees, as is CED as well. Well, since CED is AEB is 180 degrees, I know I can also tell that this angle, if I combine that angle with this angle, okay, AEC and BEC, that gives me AEB. All right, that gives me this big angle. So when you combine two smaller angles to get a bigger angle, the operation in the math that you're going to be using is addition. Okay, so I'm going to add these two angles together, x minus 13 plus 2x plus 1, and set it equal to 180. Alright, set it equal to 8. Okay, holy buckets. All right, let's try that again. Okay. All right, so now let's add these together. Combine our like terms. 2x plus x cubed 3. X minus 12 equals 180. Add 12 to both sides. 3x equals 192. Divide by 3. X equals 364. Right? 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 3 goes in there 6 times. Remainder 1. Yeah, 64. Okay. So x is 64. All right. So we want to find, now we're not done yet, right? We want to find the measure of angle BEC. So BEC is this, is our purple angle here. All right. So I do the measure of angle BEC equals 2 times 64 plus 1. 2 times 64 is 128 plus 1, 129 degrees. There you go. All right, I hope you enjoyed your first flip video for this class. On Monday, we'll continue to, work hard. We'll continue to review on Monday. We'll go over some test topics. The answer key to that worksheet is online, is on my Schoology page. The answer key to that review packet is on there as well. If you have any questions, I'll have a little bit of access to my email this weekend. I don't know how my service is going to be, but I'll have some access to email, so you can feel free to email me or hit that resource center or come and see me Monday morning. All right, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.